let's go with this side. So I know that Carlo and Alessio don't like making cornerstones, even though Alessio is much better at it than I am. They just don't like doing the fine details that take a long time. They'd rather throw a wall together quite quickly, and it annoys them to slow down to do this type of work. And they've noticed that I enjoy it. As long as I'm not rushed and I have time to shape it into a cornerstone properly, then I really enjoy the process. So I wouldn't put it past them if they, just decided to show up a little bit late today so I could stock up on the cornerstones just so they could avoid doing them. So there's a variety of cornerstones that we need to start accumulating, and they're all different depths, and it's shaping the depth that's the most annoying. On the corners of the building, we can work with up to approximately 30 centimeters, so about this deep. Those are dramatically easier, but around all of the doors and windows, they need to be a maximum of 15 to 17, which is rather annoying to find stones that are that naturally broken to that depth, which means you're reducing the depth quite a lot. And that's the process that I just don't enjoy.
Sai perché andrebbe meglio sotto qua, girato di là. Però lascialo così che va bene.
Va bene? Ok. Ah, that's a shame. Just doesn't want to break that way. All right, I thought I'd take some time and try to see if I can push my skills and take a stone that looks nothing like a cornerstone at all and see if I can turn it into a cornerstone. Although I'm noticing now that there's a hairline crack in this one, so this one probably won't work out. I'll try anyways. Normally, if I'm rushed, I have to work with only the best stones so I can quickly get them done. But I just want to see. I want to try. If it fails, it fails. Nope, not that one. Yep, it's falling apart. Yep, this was the wrong stone. So you guys have been asking for a long time for us to go out and explore some of the local Italian towns and to take the camera along with us and to share that with you. Well, we finally have done that, and we've made an entire video about exploring our local town, which happens to be one of my top 3 favorite towns in all of Italy. That video is now live as of today, and we've created a separate channel to place all of our travel and exploration on that channel. So if you're at all interested in seeing some of the surrounding towns around northern Italy, as well as we're gonna take a brief road trip around Europe through Germany and Switzerland, seeing the Christmas markets and all the way up into Finland, then make sure after this video is over, you pop over to that new channel and check out the video. And make sure to subscribe, as this is a brand new experiment that we're starting with our family, and we're starting from ground zero. So help us out by clicking that subscribe button. And if you're watching on television, then at the end of this video, there'll be an easy button that you can click on, but I'll remind you about that later. Man, I just can't get over how quickly this whole building is coming together and how all of these cornerstones are looking, particularly around the door openings and the window openings. Along this side here, these window openings are just stunning with all of these corners coming together. But just how quickly the whole thing is going up is a little bit mind-boggling right now. So I've mentioned before that the majority of my experience has been in the shaping of the stones and less so in the placing of the stones on the wall. Well, today I've really been able to kind of experiment and learn quite a lot with placing the stones. What I'm learning is you can't be too picky as you're shaping these puzzle pieces, worrying about all the different angles and whatnot. You can get so caught up into it when you really don't need to be paying that close of attention, because if you stand back and you look at it from a holistic perspective, as long as everything's relatively straight, it all comes together quite beautifully. If I look at their work as closely as I'm looking at mine, then I notice certain imperfections, but when you blend all of these imperfections together, it becomes one seamless puzzle that really is just a work of art. The shape of these windows have really just come out in the last couple of hours. These are the cornerstones that I've been working on here on either side of them. Particularly, I enjoy these. The larger cornerstones I really do appreciate and enjoy. But it's those larger ones that are extra difficult, particularly around windows, as a large stone usually has a large bed depth to it, and shaving back that bed depth while maintaining the large stone is what is so time consuming. Hey.
There is so much work that goes on behind the scenes in creating these videos, and one of the biggest pieces in that puzzle is finding great royalty-free music, and that is where Suno comes into play. Suno is a music creation platform that makes making custom music possible for everyone. I have been so impressed with the music that can be created, and it is such an incredible tool to help you really customize and shape the music the way that you like it. It is so easy and fun to use. All you have to do is write out a description of the kind of song you want to create, type that out in the song description area, and a song will pop up. Then you can further customize that song to be exactly what you want it to be. I love that you can even put in an idea, like building a house in the mountains, which is actually how I described this song that's playing right now. It is really so fun to play with and see what kind of songs we can come up with together. You can use Suno as a fun creative outlet, but if you do want to use it for commercial purposes, you do have full rights to each and every song that you create while being subscribed to the platform. Each and every song in this video was made using Suno. If you want to check it out for yourself, you can go to suno.com. Thank you so much to Suno for sponsoring today's video.
Ah, come on. It's not my day today. Well, good morning. That sunrise, man, the sunrises this time of year always just take my breath away. And this spot in particular, I just love it because it's so quiet. The mass of the stone house, the mass of the roof kind of blocks away any potential tractor noises or car noises, and you really can just look across the valley and fully appreciate both the views and the quiet sounds. And with that, it's time for us to ruin those quiet sounds by adding that chink, chink, chink of stonework, which I believe today or tomorrow we're gonna end up finishing these walls. Hey, come on. Rude. All right, so I don't believe I've ever explained the different tools and how we shape the stones. There's two primary chisels. This one right here with a flat end on it, that's what you do the majority of the work, making a straight line going down the stone like so. This pointed chisel right here, that's for shaping kind of the belly, at least that's what I call it, because after you've come down and you've shaped, let's flip it around like so. Usually in the center of the stone, there'll be a little bit of a hump or a belly. That's when you reach for the pointed chisel right here. And that really allows you to dig in there and take that curve out of it as much as you want. It doesn't need to be perfect whatsoever. And then lastly, this hammer is kind of a combination between a chisel and a regular hammer, as you're able to use this end to bash off large chunks of stone in a non-precise way. And then with the chisel end, you're able to quickly go down the line and straighten up a stone. This hammer we primarily only use during long straights. If you're just doing one edge of the stone, something really quickly, that doesn't need to be as beautiful, but we try to make the cornerstones as perfect and beautiful as we can. And for that, we slow down and we use these chisels here. Man, today, and honestly yesterday as well, I'm just moving a little bit slowly because the weather is just gorgeous for one. It's obviously a little bit chilly. It's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. But this time of year, I just love this type of weather. It's perfect to be working in. But mostly because as the building starts to take shape, it's really hard not to just stand back and look at it and really appreciate it. All of the angles, all of these cornerstones, especially around the doors and windows. We are now reaching the finish line here quite quickly. But just to see all of these angles, these corners, I don't know. It's hard for me to describe it here, especially as you come around to this side, seeing these cornerstones here that outline the door, seeing these windows, those window stones, the sunrise in the background, this back corner here. This section here is nearly completely finished. And then of course the roof is gonna go like so. We haven't fully decided what we're gonna clad the concrete, if it's gonna be rendered. I kind of like the idea of doing torched black siding that, what's it called? The Japanese shoba, whatever, I forget what it's called. That could be interesting. Or if we should just do a classic render and paint, that's probably what we'll end up going with. But man, this right here, this view, beautiful. And if you remember the big pile of stones that we had here, well, they're pretty much all gone. And what's left is all of these small stone chips from the chipping away of all of the stones. And everything's been placed up as it should be. So this is why I'm the only one that wears gloves, because after just a couple of days of wearing them, they completely wear through no matter how good the quality of gloves you have. These are thick leather gloves and they only last 2, 3, maybe 4 days in the stones because it's just so rough on them. But I have baby hands, so I have to wear them. Come on. All right, I do believe we just need about 3 more cornerstones, and then we're finished. Well, hey, that is all of the stonework complete. Well, for now, so we still have to do that gable and the peak in stone on this side. possibly on the backside as well. We'll see what we end up doing. But I think we've decided it's best to wait for the beams to be placed in for the roof first so that we can line up the stones precisely. I don't know. We'll see. We might start a little bit and then wait for the beams. Who knows? We're not exactly quite sure when those beams will be ready. But for now, we can just appreciate this beautiful stonework. And yes, we will have more stones like this, a lovely chestnut beam going across that doorway. What's capping off this door and these two windows here will be part of the roofing package, a nice large beam that goes across all of this. We've really pushed this window up to the very top of the wall, right up to the top of where the roof is going to be, because you want that window for the sauna to be right at eye level, and while eye level in the sauna is at the top of the roof right about so. I could not be more thrilled with the craftsmanship of how this room turned out. In fact, I think it's probably better craftsmanship than the expansion we did onto the existing stone house. There's just something about the way these stones pull together that I appreciate more, I think. And as always, just so thankful for our team, Alessio and Carlo, and all of the work that went into this beautiful building. But before I sign off for today, don't forget that we have a brand new video over on our new travel channel. So pop on over. There's a button that you can click on right now if you're watching on television, or you can scan the QR code on your screen and go check that out. Don't forget to subscribe because this is a brand new experiment for our family. And with that, thank you so much for watching today's video, and we'll see you next week.